Guys, please, not today. Please edit the first slide next time. It's still showing 16, 13, January 18.
Sure, ma'am.
Hi, Simon.
Hi, morning, good
So
afternoon,
it's
whatever time it is.
it's good evening for us.
Yeah, it's a good evening, still morning here.
How are you?
I'm okay. Yeah, it's I think the main chaos of the week has passed, and we're kind of into more normal parts of the week. I think when I look at my diary, anyway. And yourself?
I'm okay. We are back to the campus today.
Ah,
Yeah.
so
Auspicious beginning.
back to
Yeah.
face-to-face teaching.
No. The students stay home. We have come as faculty. And it's almost a year since we've entered our offices, and they were so dirty and everything was so such, mess, really.
Yeah, but yeah, can imagine.
1 year that we didn't move our cars, we didn't go out. At least never heard of it in my lifetime. Very, very, very different kind of a situation, really.
Yeah, and hopefully never again.
Never, at least not in our lifetimes, and I hope not of anybody who has to follow us. And
Yeah.
uh, so, well, I hope the worst is gone.
Hopefully, yeah. Well, yeah. I think we're just waiting on this vaccine rollout and the impact there. It seems to be we feel behind with the changes, and we're waiting for it to kind of catch up, and we're trying to get back to winning the battle rather than feel like we're constantly under pressure.
Simon, here actually we are a lot of people, so we are almost like in Delhi where I live. We are sitting at 60% of antibodies, which means we are almost touching herd immunity. And with the vaccine happening at a record space, I think, and most Indians have kind of given up the fear also, because we live in a very hot country. Maybe we are already blessed with high immunity, because they are saying vitamin D has acted as a very big deterrent to the thing. I don't know. Or maybe from the childhood we get our BCG vaccines and all those. I don't know what has worked, but we have almost touched, herd immunity in terms of, uh, at least in Delhi.
Yeah. Just to let you know, I just noticed that my head of department joined. So
Okay.
Alison, that's in there. That's my
Can I
manager
just,
there.
yeah,
If you want to
I'll
say hello.
convert him into a pres. Yeah, yeah, I definitely want to. Can you just tell me the name? Alison?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just convert him into a. Hi, Alison.
Oh, you don't need to make me a presenter. I'm very much here just to enjoy and watch. And unfortunately, I've got to leave at 11:30 because I've got a class myself. But hi, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us.
And Alison, I really wish you can see some of the beautiful things that we bring to you. We are trying to showcase the Indian culture today. And Namaste, that's our traditional Indian greeting. And we really, please do join us. We'll give you flavors of different kind of, of economy, of finance. Today, of course, I bring just very, very specifically Indian culture. So there'll be some very nice dances, some very good things about the culture.
I'm looking forward to it. Sounds great.
And we are so, we are very privileged and blessed to have you here. Please do join us as often as you can.
Will do. Thank you.
And there's a lot of students joining, and I will respect the British value of time, and I'll start exactly at 4:30 from my time.
So just to say that Duncan has joined as well. So if you remember Duncan.
Yeah. Hi, Duncan.
No. Hello there. Hello there.
It's wonderful to see all of you, and I hope you enjoy the presentation today, because today we have a very special kind of a, I've got a potpourri of a lot of Indian culture today. So I hope that's okay with you all.
TK, shukriya.
Wonderful, wonderful. Good, good. I'm so happy. So it's exactly 4:30, and the first thing we'll take away from you is the British respect for time. So we start immediately with the kind permission of all you friends and seniors. Can we start formally the MCs of the event, please?
Namaste and greetings to one and all. Welcome to the session on sustainability and Indian perspective. Every culture is unique. It has its own traditional values, religion, dance, festivals, music, cuisine, clothing, and what. The Indian culture is one of the oldest. The astonishing culture diversity throughout the whole country makes one to be amazed. Could you imagine that the south, north, and the northeastern parts of India have their own traditional values and culture? It is an incredible thing to observe such an immense variety in culture within a single country. Sustainability has always been a core component of the Indian culture. The philosophy and the values of the Indian culture have underscored a sustainable way. Over to Akriti.
It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Anupama Rajesh. Dr. Anupama Rajesh is a professor and the head of Internationalization Cell of Amity Business School. She has been trained for case writing at INSEAD Paris. Ma'am has 22 years of teaching experience, including training of Italian and French delegates and students. Ma'am has written more than 90 research papers and case study for prestigious international journals. She has 8 books and several book chapters to her credit. She is an avid trainer and has trained employees of Union Bank of India, Tata Motors, and other multinational companies. Now, I would like to pass the baton to Dr. Anupama.
Thank you, Akriti. May God make me capable of your such kind words. So I request for the next slide. And before I start, Kunal, can I have the next slide, please? Yeah, thank you. So, we Indians and this session specifically, I have brought as a absolutely showcase of the beautiful Indian culture. And as everything in India, we always begin with a invocation to the Almighty. And here I'm going to start with a very ancient Sanskrit verse. And Sanskrit is considered one of the oldest and the most ancient language. And this verse is dedicated to the goddess of learning, Ma Saraswati. She wears white to convey to you peace and learning. And she sits on a lotus. The lotus signifies that no matter, and the lotus, as you're aware, it comes out in sometimes in very dirty lakes, but still stays above and looks so pure and beautiful. The message being that no matter where you are, what kind of circumstances you have to be absolutely pure and beautiful as a lotus. So I'll start with that invocation to the Almighty and a recitation of the Saraswati shlok. It goes like this. Ya kundendu tushar har dhwala, ya shubhr vastrvita, ya veena vardand mandit kara, ya shwet padmasana, ya brahmachut shankar prabhiti bihi, sada vandita, samam patu saraswati, bhagvati, nishesh jad ya pavaha, which in English means, I salute Mother Saraswati, which is so pure and white, like that of jasmine, moon, and a garland of pearls. She is one adorned with sparkling white garments, whose hands are adorned with the veena, which is a stringed musical instrument, and the boon-giving staff, and who's seated on the pure white lotus, who is always adored by Lord Brahma, Lord Achyut, who is the Lord Vishnu, Lord Shankar, and other devas. O Lord Saraswati, please protect us and remove our ignorance completely. Basically, it means it is an invocation to shower learning on us. And since we are about to learn about our cultures, I think it was a suitable beginning. Kunal, can we play that little hymn? Thank you so much. Next slide, please, Kunal. Um, we begin this presentation, and this is a logo we have decided for the Indian part of the presentation. The word is sattva, which means purity and harmony. So with that, and I also, before I begin, I've purposely worn this shawl. It is the Jamdani shawl, and it has got several very, very fine threads which are woven to create a very intricate pattern. Probably this represents the Indian culture the best way. And like those beautiful threads that make my shawl, I'll bring to you the various threads of Indian culture and how not only they link with tradition, with culture, but also in a way sustainability. Because as I pointed out last time, our culture is called the Sanatan Dharma, which means there is no beginning and there is no end. So can we go to the next slide? Before we start, this is probably, I think yoga has become such a, and in Indian language it's called the yoga, has become such a buzzword for everybody. And this is a very famous Surya Namaskar done by our own student. And the Surya Namaskar is done as an invocation to the sun god. So it implicitly means that A, you get up very early in the morning. B, you start with the day with these intricate stretches, which do both things. They help you connect to God, as well as kind of rev up your body for the day ahead. So the student here will now do a little bit of a demo of the Surya Namaskar. Thank you.
Surya Namaskar is a Sanskrit word. Surya means sun and Namaskar means greetings. Surya is the Hindu god of sun. This identifies sun as the soul and sources of all life.
They say that three Surya Namaskars, that means 3 times you do this in the morning and 3 in the evening, and you're done. You're ready to face the day, and you will never face any, health issues. It's a very holistic kind of exercise. Next slide, please, Kunal. Now, another very interesting, just a second. Very interesting. Now that we have, woken up, done a little bit of exercise, we'll have a bath. And after a bath, this is the Tulsi Puja, which means the worship of the plant called Tulsi, which is the holy basil in English. And the importance of this plant cannot be overstated, and it's now proven by scientific facts of its antibiotical qualities. And all women, and usually after their bath, take circles around the holy basil and do a little bit of worship there. In a sense, actually, in breathing, the oxygen released by the tulsi, which of course you understand, that is very good for health. Also, all our offerings are considered incomplete to God unless you put a tulsi leaf on that offering. So in effect, when you will have the prasad, which is the, after you've offered it to God, everybody in the household will be eating it. You end up ingesting the tulsi leaf, which is considered to have antibiotical properties. Can we have that slide? Again, one of our own students doing this.
पाप हारिण पुण्य दे नमस्ते नारद मुनि नारायणी मन प्रिय तुलसी श्री सखी शुभे पाप हारिण पुण्य दे नमस्ते नारद मुनि नारायणी मन प्रिय तुलसी श्री सखी शुभे पाप हारिण पुण्य दे नमस्ते नारद मुनि नारायणी मन प्रिय.
Thank you. Next slide. So after the Tulsi puja, the love, this is what we said, sustainability. And one of the most beautiful examples of sustainability and the love we have for our surroundings is probably something called the Chipko movement that was initiated in India some time ago. Chipko movements very literally means that you cling or you stick. Now, what were we clinging to? We were clinging to trees, because there was this project which involved cutting down of trees. So people went and they clung to those trees and said, these are, because I told you last time also, it is considered trees as our family members. So it is considered our ancestors live on trees. And so cutting of trees is considered an immensely bad karma or bad deed in the Indian culture. So what did these people do? That they did not allow any trees to be cut and clung to those trees and said, you cannot cut them because they are our family members. So a little bit about the Chipko movement. Can you play that, please?
Chipko movement started when the villagers in the Uttarakhand region hugged the trees and prevented the men from cutting them down. Chipko means hug or cling. The movement was started by Gaura Devi with the help of other women and little girls. One day, a little girl in a village in Garhwal noticed a few men with saws and axes quietly entering the forest. She went and informed Gaura Devi. Gaura Devi collected a group of women and little girls and went into the forest and asked the men not to cut down the trees. The men threatened them with guns, but they just clung to the trees. The men had to finally leave. Sundarlal Bahuguna is another leader of the modern-day Chipko movement. The original Chipko movement started in a small village of Rajasthan some 300 years ago. There was a village named Khejadi. The people of this village, the Bishnois, loved their trees. Once the ruler of Mewar sent a group of people to cut the trees. The king needed wood to burn lime to be used in the construction of a new palace. The people of Khejadi refused to allow the king's men to cut the trees. They hugged the trees. In trying to save the trees, more than 300 people lost their lives. When the ruler of Mewar came to know about this incident, he felt very guilty. he immediately passed an order that no one should cut trees in Kejadi village. Trees grow naturally in the forests. It is our duty to save and preserve them for the betterment of our environment.
Thank you. Next slide. Now I have this beautiful glimpses of our students going and hugging the trees around their houses. Remember, we were in the lockdown, but yet they went and they hugged those trees just to convey a message that each and every tree matters. More, yes. So all of them, they are our students going and hugging the nearest tree. All right, thank you. Next. Now, again, like I discussed last time, the culture here, we have so many gods. And the idea is that instead of plundering the environment, we worship all elements of the earth so that nobody dares to plunder or damage any of those environment, because all of them are gods. Remember, this is what we talked about last time. So we'll show you a few clips how the 5 elements of the nature are gods for us. So there is a fire god, there's the air god, and the earth goddess, which is considered the mother. So it is inbuilt into the culture to take care of all these, because remember, they are gods and to be respected. Can we go ahead? So remember, that's the first one, the Dharti Ma, or the earth goddess, and she's also considered the mother. So before the farmer plows or any construction happens, the first thing that is done is worship of the mother, because it is considered that this is the one who keeps us. So we'll show you a little clip about the earth goddess.
There is something mysterious, strange, and in our experience, completely mundane. I am here. We see it every day. We feel it when we walk, when we eat, when we swim. In a universe known to mainstream, science is mostly empty space. The uniqueness of the planet takes its most prolific form in its solidity, which paradoxically can be best understood through tolerance. This is what is unique about the earth, Prithvi, which comes under the 5 basic elements of nature named as Panchbhutas. The earth element is not considered the true omen. It's just the result of 3 prior elements of fire, air, and water coming together and forming the 4th element. Together they create a tetrapolar magnet that balances in the center, and due to the solidification of the earth, the other 3 becomes finite, in effect creating a massive body that supports much smaller bodies, and the symbology of this has been used in many traditions, such as the Native American medicine wheel, with the swastika in the Indian culture.
Next slide, please. Now, the water goddess is considered the most holy of them. And we have the river Ganges, which is considered the lady who will give us absolute, will cleanse us of all sins. So water is worshipped, again considered bad karma to dirty it, to pollute it, because ultimately it is God again. The point that we are trying to prove to you is that the culture has an inbuilt sustainability element. So a little bit about our river Ganges, or the most holy river, the Ganga. And there is a worship that happens in the evenings every day in Haridwar, where it starts.
Down to earth with a mystical divine influence, where
immerses humans, their endless transgressions float around their mortal remains to impure the heart of a holy river. Is there a mountain on earth or a source where one river flows down to refurbish humans and cleanse the stains of mind? Is there a river on earth cursed like Ganga to endure the burdens of human submissions and surrender on one credence and flow like river Ganga?
Thank you. Next slide, please. Now comes the fire god. Uh, no, no auspicious task is considered started till the time we invoke the fire god. Remember, I started my presentation with a little bit of a lighting of the lamp. So, and as you know, that food is prepared on the fire. So it is the one which keeps us alive. But of course, you have to remember that unchecked, it can also burn you. So when we pray to the Lord of fire, we pray for restraint also. It gives you a lesson for restraint, that if anything which is unrestrained will destroy. So a clip here.
Agni, the Hindu god of fire, who is easily recognized with his flaming hair riding a goat in the Hindu art, is an admirer and defender of humanity. He is related to the various forms of fire, like the sun, the lightning, the comets, the putting to death fire, the domestic flames, the funeral fire, and the organic process of fire inside all beings. Agni is aware of all the thoughts of all individuals and is a witness to all important acts. So the use of fire is seen in important Hindu rituals, with weddings being the most prominent example. It is often referred in holy texts like Mahabharata as the oblation devourer and the purifier. He conveys the hymns and offerings of earthly devotees to the immortals, and then also takes the immortals down from the heaven to the place of sacrifice. He accompanies the god as they explore the earth and engage in the love and devotion that makes human offerings meaningful. Without him, the god finds no fulfillment.
Thank you. Of course, the air we breathe. And in these days of pollution, we have to remember that again, he's a god and not very happy with the way we are destroying and plundering our environment and polluting the Vayudev, or the god of air.
In Hinduism, wind symbolizes soul, divinity, breath, strength. One of the 5 elements: storms, tempests, messenger, swiftness, auspiciousness, perfume, speed, cleansing, and transformative power. A plane of consciousness, a world, the mid-region, direction, sickness, spirit possession, and ritual purity. The Vedas extol Vayu, the lord of wind, as the god of the mid-region, friend of gods like Indra and Varuna, and lover of the Soma Jews. Vayu assists in the union and communication between the gods in heaven and humans upon earth.
Beautiful. Next, please. And finally, the god of the sky, the one where the gods are showering us with blessing. Please, can we have that clip?
Akasa means the sky, the space, the one without a body. It is the stuff of which gods and celestial beings are made. It is also the stuff of the souls. It is immortal, indivisible, infinite, and indestructible. It is the finest and subtlest of all the elements. Vedic seers believed in the existence of three worlds, Bhur, Bhuva, and Swar. Bhur was the earth, Bhuva was the sky or Antriksh, the middle region, and Swar was the highest, the heavenly world of radiance. It was in the sky that gods displayed their awesome power. However, Akasa is the purest of them all. It is beyond the grasp of the senses and untainted by other elements. It is the medium through which we can communicate with gods using sound vibrations caused by the chanting of the mantras or sacred syllables. Lord Vishnu, as preserver and supreme lord of the universe, is depicted as blue in color, which is the color of the sky. Aditi, the mother of all gods and Brahma, are also compared to the sky and extolled in the Vedic hymns and boundless beings and upholders of all.
Thank you. Next slide, please.
भारत भारत जमीन का टुकड़ा नहीं, जीता जागता राष्ट्र पुरुष है। हिमालय मस्तक है, कश्मीर की रीढ़ है। पंजाब और बंगाल दो विशाल कंधे हैं। पूर्वी और पश्चिमी घाट दो विशाल जंधाए हैं। कन्याकुमारी इसके चरण है, सागर इसके पग पखारता है। यह चंदन की भूमि है, यह अभिनंदन की भूमि है। यह तर्पण की भूमि है, यह अर्पण की भूमि है। इसका कंकर कंकर शंकर है, इसका बिंदु बिंदु गंगा जल है। हम जिएंगे तो इसके लिए, मरेंगे तो भी इसके लिए।
So we just gave you a few glimpses of the most beautiful parts of India. And next slide, please. Now, I'm going to give you a few instances, the women empowerment and things like that are being talked about. And I will tell you a few things about the inbuilt traditions of Indian culture, which empower women in their basic traditions and way of life. Can I have the next slide, please? All right. So this is our goddess called the Kali Ma. She is considered that Ma Saraswati, which we showed you in the beginning, sitting on a lotus, quiet, peaceful. But when this devil comes to harm her and her family, this is what she becomes. And she's so powerful, she kills them, and she's absolutely insatiable till the time she has removed all devils from the earth. So worship of women is an inherent part of the Indian culture. So the god is not considered complete till the goddess is with him. Even the worship of the god is not acceptable unless his wife joins him. So there is the story of Lord Ram, where he was not allowed to finish his puja, which is his worship, till his wife, goddess Sita, joined him. And since she was not there with him, he had to put a statue of gold in place of her, and only then his worship was accepted. Next, please.
In Indian mythology, a powerful and evil demon was granted a boon, and for his askance, as he considered women feeble, weak creatures, was that only a female could kill him. The gods all tried their best to destroy this monster, to no avail. He believed this would guarantee his immortality. Imagine his surprise then, When the goddess Kali appeared, a necklace of demon heads like his around her neck, her power far overshadowing his, and he no match for her incredible strength, defeating him in record time. What I am trying to tell you is they have always underestimated us, no matter what form we take. What I am also saying is we should channel our inner goddesses and make them rue the day they made that mistake.
Again, like last time, I pointed it out to you in my earlier discourse. Just see, the god is half male and half female, and he is not considered whole till the time the two come together. So without the female, the male is considered incomplete. So again, a very powerful picturization of the importance of male and female, and nobody being complete till the time the female is given her due respect and honor. Next, please. Again, we have a very interesting tradition that people are known by their mothers. So, for example, our lords were known by their mothers or their loved ones. So, for example, this is the Radha and Krishna. They are gods, but Krishna is always worshipped as Radhesham, where his beloved is called out before he is invoked. So very interesting again to respect women before, despite being the god, his beloved is being given more respect before him. Next, please. Again, the biggest, all religions have, be it Christianity or Islam, no religion is considered complete till you have donated. And in Indian mythology and Indian traditions, the biggest donation is considered that to be of the Kanya, or that means of your own daughter when you wed her off to somebody. And hence, you cannot get moksha or cannot be freed from the cycle of birth and death till the time you have donated a daughter, which means, inherently means, that unless you have a daughter, you are not going to be freed from your life, which means that it is God's daughters are considered a path to God. Next. And hence, when they are little and unmarried, they are worshipped every year and given gifts and worshipped, because remember, they remind you that they are goddesses and your path to God. Next. Again, very interesting tradition that education is considered a kind of a worship, and hence there is a shloka again which says Guru Gobind do khade kake lage pawe balihari Guru apni jisse dekho Govind deyo dikhaye. Yani, meaning that if there is a God and a teacher standing, whom shall I worship first? And they say that you should worship the teacher first because he's the one who's told you what God is. So we have a very interesting tradition where till the age of 25, you're supposed to live in a Gurukul, which is a kind of a hostel, and learn about and only learn. So there are no earthly distractions. Like you have students who already are getting distracted. There were no distractions and you were supposed to live there and just study. Right. Thank you. Next. And we have several examples of these very powerful women, such as Rani Lakshmi Bai, which was a renowned warrior. The next one. We've had female prime ministers, female presidents. I was hearing a quote by one of the superstars, and she said, "Oh, what do you comment about America having a female president?" She said, "Well, we've had prime ministers and presidents earlier, so welcome to the club." So, of course, Kalpana Chawla, a very famous astronaut. Next. So this was all about women and empowerment, and enough of the heavy stuff. Now we go into some very fun stuff. And these are our own students doing some beautiful dances, and they come from north, south, east, west, and enjoy. So this is the east, and this beautiful student doing a dance. The West. And please appreciate that all these students have done it at home in the conditions of lockdown. Please play it. The North, the famous Punjabi Gidda. finally the South.
गलज्जल प्रवाह पावितस्थले कलेवलम्ब्यलम्बितां भुजङ्गतुङ्गमालिकान्तमड्डमड्डमड्डमन्निनादवड्डमर्वयं चकार चण्डताण्डवं तनोतु नः शिव जटाकटाह सम्भ्रम भ्रमन् निलिम्ब निर्झरी विलोल वीचि वल्लरी विराजमान मूर्धनि धगद्धगद्धगज्ज्वलल्ललाट पट्ट पावके किशोर चन्द्रशेखरे रति प्रतिक्षणम्
Thank you. Now, this presentation has been the work of such wonderful students who have been working in their own places under this very taxing conditions of lockdowns, where we are not even allowed to get out of the houses. Hence, you have seen they have done these wonderful dances, compared, get those clips together. And I would request them to switch on their cameras and introduce themselves. Over to you, Kajal and Manveet.
Namaste to everyone present here. I'm Manveet Arora from the cultural team and was the voice behind the element Vayu. I reside in Chhattisgarh, which is situated in the heart of India, is endowed with a rich cultural heritage and attractive natural diversity. The economy of Chhattisgarh is largely natural resource driven, and it leverages the state's rich mineral resources. Large deposits of coal, iron ore, limestone, bauxite, and dolomite are found in various parts of the state. Chhattisgarh got the United Nations Development Programme Award for its Human Development Report, using information technology for the betterment of citizens. Now, I request my team to kindly introduce themselves.
Namaste and Jai Johar. I am Sanjana Agrawal and I am from Chhattisgarh. I have demonstrated Surya Namaskar in this presentation. Surya Namaskar was invented by Raja of Ondh, which was a former state in India and now is a part of Maharashtra. In the early 20th century, then decimated to the west in 1920s or 1930s. Surya Namaskar or Surya Salutation is a practice in yoga as exercise incorporating a flow sequence of some 12 gracefully linked asanas. Thank you.
Wonderfully done, Sanjana. Next, please.
Greetings to everyone. Radhe to all present over here. My name is Harshul Agarwal. My contribution in today's session is that I edited all the videos in this presentation, and me and my colleague Sheshti Singhal made the whole presentation. I want to say something about India. The name India derived from the river Indus, the valley around which we were the home of early settlers. The Aryan worshippers refer to the river Indus as Sindhu. India is the largest democracy in the world, the 7th largest country in the world, and one of the most ancient civilizations. The world's first university was established in Takshila in 700 BC. More than 10,000 students from all over the world studied more than 60 subjects. The University of Nalanda, built in 4th century, was one of the greatest achievements of ancient India in the field of education. Also, Ayurveda is the earliest school of medicine known to mankind 25 years ago, which is one of our greatest accomplishments. India is a pride because of its diversity of culture and tradition, its old yet outstanding train network, its colorful celebration and festivals such as Holi and Diwali, its spiritual connection. as many people from across the world travel to India in search of spirituality. Its delicious Indian food, due to its unique and tasty spices, its incredible architecture, most notably the Taj Mahal, one of the seven wonders of the world. We as Indians follow a philosophy of Vasudev Kutumb, as emphasized several times by our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, which inculcates an understanding and tries to foster that the whole world and humanity is one family. We also believe in Athithi Devo Bhava. It is a Sanskrit verse that means the guest is equivalent to God, which tells us that the happiness of you and your guest is our topmost priority. That's all. This is my incomparable India, and I'm proud to be an Indian. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you. And the next one.
So, namaste everyone. I'm Unnati Srivastav and I was the voice behind Agni. And it was great to connect with you, and we had the opportunity to appreciate our roots. We embraced the concept of Panch Tattva and the value of striking the perfect balance of these five components. And I relearned that all elements are related and none of them can be separated in this universe. And additionally, signifying the fact that no object, animal, or human are so separate from us than we think they are. And basically, caring for all is caring for the self in the broader picture. Dhanyavad.
Thank you. The next girl.
Namaste and Assalamu Alaikum. This is Swalia Khan. I'm from Kashmir. Kashmir, as everyone knows, is the heaven on earth. I'm wearing the most famous outfit of Kashmir right now, which is known as Firan. I'm the voice behind the videos of Women Empowerment, Incredible India, and Elements, Sky and Prithvi. I would like to show some light on Women Power Award, which is Nari Shakti Puraskar. It is an annual award given by the Ministry of Women and Child Development of the Government of India to individual women or to institutions that work towards the cause of women empowerment. The awards are presented by the President of India on International Women Day, which is on 8th March at Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi. Shukriya.
Thank you so much. Next girl. Shivangi, you're mute.
Sat Shri Akal, Namaste. I'm Shivangi Manchanda and I belong to Punjab. Punjab, which means land of five rivers, referring to Jhelum, Ravi, Chenab, Satluj, and Beas. Our mother tongue is Punjabi, and our folk dances are Bhangra and Gidda. Bhangra is being performed by male and female, whereas Gidda is only being performed by females. I'm the one who performed Bhangra in this function. Thank you so much. Tanwad.
Beautiful, beautiful dance. The next girl, please.
Namaste and Ram Ram. I am Rishika Sachdeva and I was born and brought up in Haryana. Haryana is called the home of gods and has the sacred city of Kurukshetra where the Mahabharata took place. For this session, I performed Garba, which was representing Western India. Garba is the folk dance of Gujarat where men and women are dressed in colorful clothes. It is a joyful style of dance. Gujarat is famous for its traditional clothing, food, and natural landscape. Thank you.
Wonderful. The next participant.
Namaste, Jai Jinendra. My name is Tanya Jain. Jai Jinendra is a way of greeting in Jainism. Jain Dharma is one of the world's oldest continuously practiced religions. I am from Delhi. Delhi, the national capital of India, is very famous for its diverse and cosmopolitan culture. The presence of Western culture, rich Indian heritage, and modern stature makes this a wonderful city in the world. Thank you.
Wonderful. And finally, Kajal.
Yes, ma'am.
And Kajal is a coordinator of this entire cultural team. Very well done, team.
Thank you, ma'am.
Kajal, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Namaste. My name is Kajal and I'm the cultural head. It is a privilege that we are getting an opportunity to show our culture and show our diversity and to know more about your culture. As you can see, India is a diverse country. India is different in every terms. We are different in culture, in rituals, in religion. We Indians celebrate all festivals in every region of every religion. That is why we call Incredible India. Dhanyavad.
Thank you so much. Wonderful show. Wonderful school team. Thank you.
Thank you,
Can we
ma'am.
have- Thank you. Bye. Kunal, can we have this final slide, please? Kunal, can we have the final slide, please? Right. Right. So all these credits, and finally, it's namaste from my side. But before we do that, we'll always show you the social media channel handles that we are constantly putting lots of material on. Please ask everybody to follow, just to create a little bit of buzz. After all, a lot of hard work is being put from both sides to get some wonderful thought leaders, all kinds of ideas. We are sharing a lot. So we are putting all of it out so that at least we are creating a digital footprint. We have a couple of minutes left, and I'd be happy to take any question or any comment from anybody. I hope you all enjoyed. Yes, Simon.
Hi, oh, thank you so much for such a inspiring kind of a set of discussions and archives, because I think it's inspired me to create something from a UK side that I think I will do in a few weeks. I think that will almost contrast, but will be completely different. But I think it's going to inspire me to do that. And just to add to the feedback loop, there's been a lot of traction at my end because we've had some kind of accreditation this week, and it's been a part of that discussion. Links to principles for responsible management education, the SDG stuff, that has now filtered out into the wider echelons of what's happening around us and the university. So if you remember at the beginning, it kind of went through the management layers, but now it's kind of creeping outside of the university and it's gaining a lot of traction. And yeah, so the feedback has been good, kind of all round, all different levels, from the students right up to colleagues, right up to managers, and then now beyond. It's started to really pay its dividends from all the sort of the support and the following and everything else. So yeah, big thank you.
Simon, it's such a pleasure, because we all learn from each other, and every day it becomes so. My students were glued on to the success story of the professor yesterday, and each one of them is gaining such a lot. And I'm sure your students are also, even if we learn a little bit from each other, we become better. So it's a better story as we go along.
It certainly is. I mean, when I think about even just focusing on sustainability and putting myself into a different pair of shoes and perceiving the world with a kind of very different upbringing and backdrop, and how that impacts on how you view, for the want of a better phrase, and how we love the world, is very different in different cultures. So it's really bringing out my appreciation of the differences and the things you can learn from different perspectives, especially when it comes to kind of selling the ideas to other people and trying to persuade people and encourage. So even with just focusing on that, never mind the grander learning, because obviously I've still yet to go to India personally.
Simon, we are so looking forward to you joining us, because very soon I'm sure we'll do that face-to-face student exchange, maybe as early as possible.
Oh, definitely, yes. Well, and hopefully all the connections will still be in place as well when everything's back to normal. Fingers crossed.
Yes. And also, this would act as a very good, selling point. You can put on any of these videos or any of these. Everything I'm getting done now on the YouTube. So those YouTube channel, I'll give you a proper list of the YouTube links. So any of these lectures can be shared then to do whatever reporting or selling is required for the next program.
Definitely, I think this is the first steps of the legacy, if you like, of the partnership. Definitely. But anyway, I'll stop dominating the time in case anybody else wants to chip in before you finish.
Yeah, so that's from us and we are done. Thank you so much. With your permission, shall we sign off?
Thank you so much for such a beautiful presentation. I'm sure I speak on behalf of all of us from Winchester University that we really appreciate everything that you've shared with us today. It was an amazing, beautiful, and
thank you so much.
Very interesting presentation. Thank you so much for sharing your culture with us today.
Thank you. Thank you. Our pleasure. Namaste and have a great evening ahead. Bye-bye.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Shukriya, Professor G.
Bye. Thank you, Duncan. What a nice shukriya. I hope you enjoyed. Bye. Guys, I'm ending the meeting.
Ma'am,
Okay.
attendance.
Lily, Daldi. Well done, guys. You absolutely are the best. We had their heads and everybody attending, and all of them, as you could hear, was so happy. British don't go gaga. If they said this much, it was enough. And wonderful presentation. I'm so proud of you.
Thank
So
you,
I'm
ma'am.
done from my side. We'll take a break. Tomorrow again, another lecture from their side, and then whoever's the next teacher from our side, we'll let you know what has to be done. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Okay.
Sorry, ma'am.
Why sorry?
Ma'am, for messing it up in the beginning.
Nobody messed anything up in the and nothing has been messed up. It was so wonderful, so beautiful. I am so proud of each one of you. Wonderful. Thank you so much. God bless you.